Colorado jury has delivered a split verdict over the death of 23-year-old Elijah McClain. Yesterday, police officer Randy Roedema was found guilty of criminally negligent homicide and third-degree assault, while Officer Jason Rosenblatt was acquitted on those same counts. Another trial for a third officer involved begins today. McClain died days after a police encounter in 2019. Officers responding to reports of a suspicious person placed him in a chokehold before paramedics injected him with the sedative ketamine. For more on this, I'm joined by criminal defense attorney Lexie Rigden. Lexie, give us a sense of what your reaction was to this verdict.
Well, good morning. My reaction being that it was a split verdict, I was a little bit surprised, but clearly when the jury got back in the jury room, they believed that one of the officers was criminally culpable and that the other one wasn't, that the other one's conduct just did not rise to the level of being able to convict him not only of reckless manslaughter, which was charged, but also the lesser included offense of criminally negligent homicide.
Can you tell us more about the charges that the two officers faced?
They had faced both being charged with reckless manslaughter and also second-degree assault. And ultimately, the one was acquitted of both of those. And then the other one, Roedema, was found guilty of criminally negligent homicide. So reckless manslaughter is basically, you know that there is a risk and you are consciously disregarding it. Criminally negligent homicide is what's called a lesser included offense, meaning you would have to prove all of the elements for criminally negligent homicide to even get to the other charge of reckless manslaughter. But basically, criminally negligent homicide means that the jury believed that this officer didn't actually, there was a risk that he didn't actually perceive. So instead of being reckless, he was simply negligent. And so that is a big difference in terms of sentencing. Also, he faces time in prison for it, but he's obviously, I believe he's a first-time offender. And so the sentencing can get a little bit complicated, and there might be a presumption of non-incarceration. I believe there was a report that one of the attorneys was heard saying to him, don't worry, you might still get probation. You might still not actually see any time in prison. So how serious his consequences are remain to be seen.
So tell us about the other three defendants being charged in this case.
Well, the paramedics are being charged, and then the officer who put him in the chokehold is also being charged. And the paramedics have been blamed by the defense of these last two officers, basically saying, hey, they're the ones that injected him with ketamine, so it's not our fault. But as the prosecution said in its closing arguments in the officer's trial that just ended, those officers still had a duty to that victim, despite the fact that he was turned over to the care of the paramedics. And so considering that the actions of the officers here, at least one of them, he was found to be criminally negligent, I think that definitely the paramedics are facing an issue, because the allegation is that the ketamine that was injected was, first of all, not necessary. It didn't need to rise to that level. And then also the ketamine injected was too much for his height and weight.
Yeah, exactly. You know, around this time, there have been other cases of sort of extreme violence, or I guess overreacting with police officers. But I just found this one particularly heartbreaking, Vlad, because this is a guy who did absolutely nothing wrong. Yeah. He was walking down the street, listening to music, probably dancing a little bit. Everyone described him as incredibly peaceful, would never hurt a fly, would play his violin to animals in animal shelters. And he was begging for his life and apologizing to the officers that he couldn't breathe, that he was throwing up. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to throw up. And I just, you know, with so many of these cases, it's all sort of really sort of gut-wrenching. But this I find particularly heartbreaking.
Lexie, just remind our audience what the defense, what were the defense counsel saying in defense of these police officers?
Well, the defense was basically saying that they didn't overreact. They didn't use excessive force. They turned him over to the care of the paramedics. They're the medical experts. They're the ones that administered the ketamine, and that he was behaving erratically, and he didn't stop when they said stop. And so we've seen those defenses used before. And this was not necessarily a black and white case, considering that it took a long time for Colorado to actually move forward with this. Initially, the prosecutors denied bringing charges. And then after George Floyd and after everything happened, they appointed a special prosecutor to look into this. They were eventually indicted in 2021, and that's what led to the trials here. But they're basically saying that they used the appropriate amount of force necessary to try to subdue him. But it is really a tragic case. I mean, somebody said he was wearing a mask in a store, and this was before the pandemic, and somebody had said he looked suspicious. And then, he was obviously scared. I mean, the body cam footage is very heartbreaking in this case.
It is, and a little suspicious, but officers had described him as having crazy strength to the paramedics, which was, part
came out, he was
not at all, not at all. So, hey, Lexie, thank you so much. I should tell everyone, I've known Lexie for a very long time, full disclosure, and it's always great to see you.
Good to see you too. Thanks, guys.